Hi! So I'm back from my round the world trip, and apparently there are some questions from some viewers that I will try to answer. And just to let you know, I haven't at all seen these questions, so I have no idea what they are, which I think it would be good if I would have been able to see them beforehand so that I could prepare or something, but apparently not.
So only I know the questions and whoever...
And only I know the answers.
So the first question of my sister's round the world trip is from Facebook, and it's Atif Chaudhry. If she could discuss her itinerary and how she went about picking it.
What I did is that I knew when I was going to leave. So I was going to leave during the summer, or summer here, which is in July. And my plan was originally to be away for 5 months. Weather-wise, it would be best to start out west, because there's summer in the US and it was winter or rainy season in Asia. So I wanted to go to the US, I wanted to go to Asia, I wanted to go to some Pacific Islands and Australia, New Zealand, definitely New Zealand. Okay, I'll just go west, and it was a really good idea and decision because I followed the summer. So basically I had summer all year. So for my trip, I had bought certain tickets. So I had the ticket out from Sweden to Canada actually, and then I had from Los Angeles to Fiji, and from there to Tonga, Samoa, and then to New Zealand. And so then next ticket was actually out from Asia home, so from Bangkok via Dubai and then home by Christmas. During the whole trip I booked tickets when I felt that okay, now I'm done in this place, I want to go to the next, and sometimes I booked plane tickets for the day after.
How did you travel within Australia and New Zealand?
New Zealand, which I'm really happy that I did, is that I took one of these buses. It's actually with the company Stray, so I took a Stray bus. I was in a bus. We were not so many people, I think maybe about 20 or so. It was quite a small bus. It was kind of like a hop on, hop off. So you could decide if you wanted to stay a little bit longer in one place. The ticket is valid for a year. So you could stay as long as you liked in one place and then continue traveling. But as I had a time limit, I just kept on. You have a driver, which is your guide, and takes care of you, kind of. So you go from place to place, and then you just sit in the bus. You fill in a form, what kind of things do I want to do. The driver tells you, okay, so now we're going to this and this place, and she, because in my case it was a she, where she was really nice, great. Chase, if you're watching this.
Shout out.
She told us what we could do in the places that we were going to, a little bit about the history and such, and also some adventurous things. And so she recommended, and then she had a list which we could fill in. Okay, yeah, I want to do this and this. They booked the accommodation as well, so usually it was quite cheap, good hostels, and that was very easy as well, because we just filled in, okay, yeah, I want a dorm room, or I want a single room, or...
And how did you pay for it?
It was a package.
Okay,
yeah,
I
paid in advance. It was a package. The living accommodation we had to pay separately when we were there, so that wasn't included in the tour. And you can choose if you want to stay somewhere else.
So in Australia then?
So then I got to Australia. I took a flight into Australia to Sydney. I spent a few weeks there. And then actually a girl whom I met in New Zealand, she wanted to come with me and travel a little bit in Australia. From Sydney we took a flight to Brisbane, and then from there we got a camper van, which is actually, I don't remember the information so that I can give you as a tip, but it's... below. Yeah, you can see it here. Here.
My dad was making fun of YouTubers the other day. He was like, they always do this below, in the description below.
Or above my hands. It was actually cheaper because it was a relocation. You can actually check that there are several relocation websites. They might have a car or a van or something that needs to be taken from one place to another. So they need someone from Brisbane to drive down to Sydney. And then they would get the car for free or for a very low price or something like that. So I think we got it for half price or so.
Can you say a number, más o menos, what the price was?
No.
Okay.
So we got it for I think 10 days because that was the time limit that we had. She had to go back to New Zealand. So we traveled, we stopped in several places. It was really great because it was so flexible. You can just, because you sleep in the van, you don't have to pay for additional accommodation. I think we drove for like, it was just like out of the street and then 20 meters. I don't know.
Did you hit a couple of kangaroos on there?
No, we didn't. The distances are very big though in Australia. So if you're going to be driving, yeah, check out the distances between places so that you get an idea of how long it actually takes. And you should be comfortable driving. Okay, in Australia, it's really easy to book into like hostels, youth hostels, which are actually, why have I forgotten the Australian term for it now? No, I should know this. I've spent so long there. I should know this.
Is it a backpacker?
Yes, it is. If people are going to be traveling, I recommend you to stay in backpackers or hostels or whatever you want to call it, places in which you can stay in a dorm room with other people. Before I went on my trip, I was thinking like, I don't want to be staying with a bunch of unknown people.
Smelly hippies.
Yeah, like I want my privacy. But then I did it and it was so great because you meet so many people and you meet people who are in the same situation as yourself. That is, they're traveling, they're open to make new acquaintances and friends, and usually if you're in a place, they might want to go to the same places that you want to go and explore. This was actually a really great help in not feeling lonely as well, and not missing home and my friends so much, because you meet so many people and it's kind of like a family, part-time family for a few days.
Is it a family?
Yeah.
What?
Not
a little
true.
side note, I think, is to say that she went alone. She wasn't traveling with anybody.
Yeah.
So she just met people on the way. So
yeah.
Her trip was.
I thought people knew that.
Did you cook for yourself? Any?
Yeah, you can do that in the backpackers. You can cook. We went and did shopping, and then you can just you can keep things in the nevera.
Fridge.
Yes. I also ate out a lot because it actually, in Asia, it's really the most convenient. It's very easy and cheaper. I think it was cheaper to eat out than to buy those things and cook for yourself. Yeah.
Wow.
But
I wish it was like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
At the end of the comment he says, I asked because a lot of my friends here want to visit Australia and New Zealand, especially the ones who want to see where all the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies were filmed.
Yeah.
Did you see any of those places?
I missed it because of my, I missed the Hobbiton. I did get to kind of move around the scenery which was in the movie, Mount Doom, which it hasn't been out yet, the video. I think not. You will see it. Me
Which video?
Climbing a volcano.
Oh! That was like 3 hours of footage that I couldn't be bothered to edit.
It'll come up.
So thank you for that answer. Next question comes from Jamshed on Facebook, and he asks, what's your accommodation preference?
Okay, let me mention the different types. I stayed in some hotels, which was, I wouldn't say that was my preference. Sure, it's nice and it's all clean and...
It's nice if you're 42 maybe, but not if you're 20 something.
It's not worth, for me it's not worth.
I think hotel, yeah, I think hotel is more like if you're older and you have a lot of money and you travel for, you know...
Yeah,
that
you get a certain commodity kind of. But, so then...
Not saying 42 is old.
I did some couch surfing, which was actually really good. I really recommend it.
Can we explain what couch surfing is?
Okay, so
let me explain it because you do all the talking. Yeah. So couch surfing is a website which you can sign up and you can offer your couch, obviously, your sofa or extra bed or extra room, or even just if you don't have a place where people can stay, but you just want to offer to go out and show them around or have a coffee or something. So then you sign up to the website and you say, okay, so I'm going to, like I said, Sydney, and then you see if there's anybody that could host you in Sydney.
So that was really good, especially in the US, because you get to, in the US it's a little bit difficult to maybe get around with public transport and everything. I met some really nice people. They showed me around, they took me to places where maybe well, definitely I wouldn't have gone if I would have been there on my own. They told me about the culture, I got to meet their friends, we had nice conversations and just, you know, exchanges of, you know, life.
I guess it's like staying with a friend, kind of.
Yeah, it is, it really is. It really feels like you're staying with a friend, and it is kind of like a new friend.
Just be careful
just
be careful with couch surfing, because you don't know these people, so you don't know who you're going to.
Yeah. You
have to research them a bit, because you can actually see what other people have written about them.
Yeah.
So either research them, or just like if you're like really strong, then you can, you know.
No, but you should be careful anyway, and maybe meet them in a public place. Make sure that this is, you know, an okay
It's
person.
a risk, but
yeah. Yeah,
to save a little money, who wouldn't take that risk, right?
You can do camping if you want to. I didn't do that myself.
But then you have to bring your camping equipment.
Yeah, you have to have equipment, and you have to make sure. Like, New Zealand would probably be a good place to do camping because there are no dangerous animals and stuff. Australia, you might want to consider all the creepy stuff.
So you don't recommend hotels because it's not so sociable?
No, I don't think.
Unless if you're going on like a 2-week vacation.
I did go to hotels during one part of my trip when I was traveling with another friend in Asia. We did stay at hotels because it ended up being, we were friends, so we got a room, and we got that kind of like you know, privacy. That is the thing. If you're staying at hostels, there will be people who are getting up very early in the morning, people who are arriving in the room very late at night, and people doing all sorts of other stuff, which I experienced on the bunk bed below me. And so you have to be aware that this
I think she's talking about snoring?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And so, you know, you never know. It's an experience in itself as well to have, you know, been woken up at night by snoring. So, it's interesting. Like, in Asia, it was cheap also, hotels, and if you book it last minute, you also get quite a good discount. So there are these websites like booking.com and websites like that. You can get good discounts, and you can get away with it quite cheaply. So it's, you know, it depends. It's not always
depends,
like
I guess,
42-year-olds.
Depends, I guess, what.
I don't know why you say that as an old age. You know, it's like,
I was gonna say 35, but then I remember you're like 20.
I would say maybe if you're like 65, you would want to stay and have, you know, the comfortability.
I guess it depends on what environment you want. So do you want to meet people, then you have these options. If you just want to kind of, if you're already maybe traveling with somebody and you don't really care so much about socializing, you mostly want to like go out and see things.
Maybe if you're on your honeymoon, you wouldn't want to stay in like a dorm room.
I think that this will be part 1. And we will continue with video part 2, but we will just continue. So watch part 2, because we will put the next question here. Okay, watch it.